and they said clean beauty wasn't good enough. Girl, I don't know what you've been using, but I got you. Today is all about skincare and makeup, and I can't wait to show you what I've been loving lately. Now let's rewind to before I looked this clean and put together. Hi there. Hola. This is all unsponsored. So these are the 2 cleansers I keep in my shower. One for heavy makeup days to prevent acne and deep clean my pores. And a very gentle and simple cleanser with honey. So this literally smells like honey and it looks like that. I've been keeping this in my shower for days that I'm not wearing makeup. This is just a raw honey face wash by a brand called Sanctuary Holistic Kitchen. Super gentle, super minimal ingredients. You can even make this yourself. You get some honey, add some jojoba oil, mix it up in something like this or a mason jar. You've got yourself your own DIY face wash made with honey. So because I do not have makeup on right now and I cleansed my face last night, the only thing I'm gonna do to cleanse my face in the shower is use this honey cleanser. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Let's get into it. But first, I gotta wash this hair, because it's about time and the curls need to come back. I have here on my counter all the skincare that I like to grab or things that I want to grab. And I go through phases on what I choose to put on my skin. There's something my skin needs in between that time, then I will adjust my skincare to meet the needs of my skin. Today I'm grabbing my Glass Skin Refining Serum from Peach and Lily. And I use this all over my face and my neck. Next up, I'm gonna be using my favorite eye cream of all time. I've been obsessed with this eye cream. This is from True Botanicals, and this is their Resurrection Radiance Eye Cream. This is one of those eye creams that just gives me instant results. And for me, what I look for with my under eye area is deep puffing. That can be achieved in many different ways. I can take some ice and rub it down on the bottom of my eyes and bring it down that way. Or I could do what I've been doing since high school, is put 2 spoons in the freezer overnight. And by the time I'm ready in the morning, I can put the spoons under my eyes, because puffiness under my eyes has always been a thing for me, even when I was a teenager. But I'm so blessed and I'm not complaining, because I know there's people out there who have dark circles, and dark circles are not a huge problem for me. The only time I get dark circles is if I'm not sleeping enough, but overall, that's not a big issue for me. For me, it's all about deep puffing, and this eye cream gives me instant results. But for those of you who want something more affordable that also works and is also clean, here's an eye cream I found on Amazon very recently, and I was very surprised and very shocked that it also gives me great instant results. Like, you see it the first day. The under eye area is smoother, it is less puffy instantly, and it just makes your under eye area look really, really good. This is a great one. It's very inexpensive, and it's by Lily Anna Naturals. So if you don't have the dimes to splurge on something like this, go ahead and try this one out, because using an eye cream is better than using none. And I am a big believer in using eye cream mostly in the daytime as opposed to nighttime, which is the opposite of what's usually promoted. Susan Yara agrees with me. She said this in one of her videos that I watched, and I was like, yes, that's exactly right, because I load up on really good moisture at nighttime, and you want to protect your under eye in the daytime as well. But a lot of people focus on putting eye cream at night and they don't really put it on in the daytime. Meanwhile, the daytime is when your skin is most exposed to all the radical damage, therefore needs the most protection in the daytime. I find that wearing an eye cream before makeup is like magic for your under eyes. Your concealer just goes on more smoothly, and my skin just looks more amazing before applying makeup, so that I don't have to apply too much makeup, you know? Lastly, today I'll be applying the Glass Skin Water Gel Moisturizer. It has hyaluronic acid. It is very light. It's a gel like this, which makes it absolutely perfect under makeup. And I live in Austin, Texas now, so the sun is strong here. So sunscreen has become more important than ever for me these days. And I have found a sunscreen that is perfection, that leaves absolutely no residue, no white cast on the skin. And it is this one by Le Prunier Plume Screen. This is SPF 31, very fancy name. It's clean, it's non-comedogenic, it's reef safe, dermatologist approved, all the good stuff. There's no oxybenzone in this, there's no oxynoxate in this, only safe ingredients, and it's made with non-nano zinc, which is much safer and just as effective. But also, this one's been my favorite for a very long time. This is the Derma E Scar Cream Sun Protectant SPF 35. What I love about this one is that it has ingredients to reduce scarring while also protecting your skin from the sun. This is also mineral sunscreen protection with clean ingredients. It has a non-nano zinc, and it also goes on clear. So whatever fits your price point, you can go with either one. But if you have scarring or you're cautious of scarring, definitely go with this one. And it just works really well and primes your skin at the same time. I'm gonna blend this in so you guys can see how clear it goes. And if you don't like wearing makeup, this just makes your skin look smoother and poreless. And that's it. That's my skincare for daytime. And now I'm ready for makeup. Okay, the curls are back and I'm very happy to see my curls back. It's been a while. Just don't know how I feel about the way they look today. I just used a new brand today for the first time just to try it out. And I filmed a reel for my Instagram using it to review it later. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. I feel like it made my curls look tighter, much tighter. Yeah, if you want to see what brand I'm talking about, go to my Instagram because I'll be wearing this outfit by the time you see it on my Instagram. Anyway, I'm here to do makeup, not talk about hair. And as you saw just now, I applied that Derma E SPF 35 Scar Cream as my primer, which is matte. And that is a really good thing, especially for summer and especially under makeup. But I also love using the Honest Beauty Glow Everything Primer. This does not have any SPF in it. This is just a really good everyday type of primer. You can wear it with or without makeup. It has like a golden appearance to it. I'm not gonna apply this everywhere. I'm just gonna apply it in certain spots like on my cheekbones right here, tiny bit on the bridge of my nose. And I'll dab the rest over here, which is my drier areas, but mostly on my cheekbones because I like to apply that primer wherever I need glow. Might look weird while doing my makeup, but it's just for now. Before applying anything on my face, I like to start off with my brows. This is the Kosas Brow Pop. This is in the color medium chocolate brown. And I'm not very precise about this. I do my brow my own unique way because this left brow is naturally higher than my right one. So I focus on lining the bottom on my left to bring my brow a little down. And I focus on lining the top of this one to bring it more up. And I just try to even them out so that they look like sisters instead of cousins. And a little tip that I've learned with myself, not doing my brow like super close up with a mirror like this because I tend to overdo it if I'm close up. So I like to look at my brows from further away from a mirror like this that's at a normal distance where I can see my whole face instead of looking at only my brow. And I find that doing that, I have a more natural look to my brow and less mistakes. When I was younger, I originally had a lot of brows. I had perfect looking brows. When I was 13, my mom allowed me to wax my brow. Every time I went, they just made it thinner and thinner and thinner. But from waxing for so many years, it just never grew back. And now I want that thickness and I can't get it. I barely ever pluck my brows. I barely ever even do my brows. And the hairs on my brows just don't grow. But what I have on my face is all I have left. So when I'm filling out my brows, I go dark on the edge, but not heavy on the inner portion. And with the brush thingy that comes in the retractable pencil, I just brush out the front mostly, going up, then very lightly brushing out the top, bringing it down. And next up, I take my Beauty Counter Brow Gel. This is in the color Dark. And I mostly focus this on the edge. It just makes it look like I have more hairs than I actually do because it like thickens the fibers of the hairs. Something you should know about me is that I don't wear a lot of foundation. It's very rare for me to have a liquid foundation on my skin. Most of the time, I'm not wearing liquid foundation. I'm just wearing concealer and a powdered foundation instead. And I think that works really well for me because my goal in doing my makeup isn't to cover up every single flaw. And I don't like the feeling of having foundation and powder and concealer and so many layers onto my skin. So I try to make my makeup look good in the most minimal way possible. The first thing I like to do is take my favorite concealer. My favorite concealer of all time is the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. This concealer is amazing. It looks great. Ilia concealer, I'm color Mesquite. And then secondly, I also love the Kosas concealer, which I've also been using a lot lately. And I'm in the color 7.5. That is my perfect shade for the under eye. But today, we're gonna go for my signature look. So I'm gonna use the Kosas concealer under my eyes, and I just apply a little bit in the inner corner and a little bit over here. Then with my Ilia concealer, I will take this on certain imperfections. I'm just applying it in certain sections, like the corner of my nose, very, very little, not a lot. Little bit on the corner of my mouth because I do have a scar there from childhood. And right here on my chin where I have another scar, and right here where I have two other scarring from childhood as well. And that is it. That's basically all the concealing I'm gonna do. I take my EcoTools sponge and mist it with my Honest Beauty Calm and Go face mist, and I blend away, tapping everything in. As you can see, I didn't apply anything on my forehead. I usually like to leave my forehead kind of clear because the forehead has a different texture on everyone. And I think makeup on the forehead is just more noticeable. So I think that when someone's looking at your face and they see your forehead look pretty natural, it kind of tricks the eye into thinking that the rest of your face is more on the natural side, like you're not wearing a lot of makeup, because the skin of your forehead just looks weightless. So whatever's left over on my sponge is all I kind of dab on my forehead, but really little to no pigment is going on there. Now I'm going to be using two different powder foundations. This is my Jane Iredale Mineral Powdered Foundation, I think it's called, and it has SPF 15 as well. And this is the color Warm Brown, which I don't use all over my face. I use it in specific spots, which is why I'm using two. This is my longtime favorite. This is the Alima Pure Foundation, and this is in the color Pecan. And I'm gonna interrupt this portion of the makeup to remind you that the best skincare tip is to clean your makeup brushes. At least clean them once every 2 weeks. Sometimes I forget myself and I get lazy. I'm gonna take the Alima Pure one with this Eco Tools stippling blending brush, whatever you call it, and apply it mostly on the bottom portion of my face just to blend all of this out. And there was no concealer in this area, okay? So this is all I will be applying here. I do not apply the powder foundation under my eyes because I'll be applying setting powder there over my mouth and dab it in. Whatever's left over goes on the center of my forehead. And I'm taking the Jane Iredale Mineral Foundation, and this is gonna bring some warmth to my face so that it looks more natural. No one's face is all one color. It's just like one shade darker than my skin color. I take that and go on my cheeks like this, the same way I would apply bronzer. See how that changed the color a little bit? Then I go on the edges of my forehead to blend that in as well. See how that color is a lot more blended and a lot more natural looking than this pale thing going on right here. Normally after I apply concealer, I apply my setting powder right away. I don't know why I didn't do that today, but it is a better idea to apply your setting powder under your eyes right away. Since I didn't do that today, I'm gonna dab a little bit under my eyes in case anything that's settled under my eye can be smoothed out before I apply my setting powder, which is by LYS, and that's just a translucent powder that I love. This has become my most used setting powder. I absolutely love it because it's in a compact and it just keeps my under eyes so set, and it still looks good for hours. I also take some on my forehead to reduce some shine, sides of my nose, and a little bit on my chin. At this point, I'll take my Jane Iredale Contour Kit in the color Deep, and I only use the contour color right here. And I take an angled brush like this one from Eco Tools, pinch it on the corners, and I'm going to just lightly contour edges of my nose. I honestly don't do a very proper or fancy contour that people would consider top-notch, but I like the way it looks on me. I've tried other methods, and I often see the pros say that you should like do a line across over here on the top of your nose. That doesn't work for me. I've tried it in the past. After I created that shape, I start blending it out. I think that looks great. And it'll look even better when I apply highlight and all of that. I'm not an eyeshadowy person, so I don't want to come on here and do eyeshadow just for this video and pretend like I do eyeshadow often, because I don't. I will only apply eyeshadow on my eyes if I'm actually going somewhere. What I do like to do is take the same bronzer that I plan on using on my face, and with a fluffy blending brush, I will take some of that and just blend it on the top crease of my eyes, and not very neatly since this isn't eyeshadow. And I kind of also go on the rest of my eye as well, and mostly focusing on the crease. And this is my favorite bronzer ever. This is by Cosas Cosmetics, and I'm in the color Deep. Take a little bit with my brush, and without too much pressure on the skin, I just apply that over here, moving up, so that the bronzer doesn't go on too harsh in one area. This is very lightly touching my skin, and I'm able to distribute it more evenly. Take a little bit on the edge and put it on the edge of my forehead. Next up, liquid eyeliner on the top line only. Favorite one to use, no surprise here, is the Honest Beauty liquid eyeliner. I have tried several others that I just threw out in the garbage because they're trash. No offense to the brands, it's just the eyeliners aren't as good. I gave up on them, and the only liquid eyeliner I have now is this Honest Beauty one because it always works for me. So I'm surrendering and admitting that this one's my favorite. I do this very close up with a 10x magnifying mirror. It allows me to get super close into my eye and very precise. I start off at the end and just do a line like that, and then go in to create like a triangle, and that'll be my wing that I will follow and guide to fill in the rest. And I go as close to the lash line as possible, which is why a 10x mirror really helps. I like it. Now for mascara, my favorite mascara of all time. Again, no surprise. This is the Honest Beauty Primer and Mascara. No lie, I have been using this since 2015 when the brand was new and just launched. And no other clean beauty mascara has ever matched up to this one. Really enhances my lashes and I don't feel like I need falsies with this one. And as most of you know, I have transitioned to clean beauty since 2014. I've been in the clean beauty space for a very long time before it was as popular as now, before you could find it at Sephora. And in the 8 years that I've been in this space, this mascara has been the best. And a tip when applying mascara is I always like to have my mirror lower so that I can look down as I'm doing it, because if I'm looking up directly at the camera, I'm more likely to get it on my eyelid. And I also blink into the application. I apply it and then blink and move up. Perfecto, fabuloso, spectacular. For weather like we're having today, I'm gonna go with one of my OG favorites. I've been using this blush for a very long time, which is why it's so beat up. This is the Beauty Counter blush in the color Date. And because of the weather, I prefer using powdered blushes when I'm wearing makeup like the one I'm wearing today, where it's kind of full face. And it's just a really beautiful color. And it blends really nicely with my bronzer as well. Then I take a tiny bit like this and then apply on my nose, more towards the tip, but not exactly on the tip. Go over the nose. Almost done. We have 2 more steps, which is highlight and lips, and we're done. My favorite highlight of all time is this one by Ilia. This is the Starstruck Daylight Highlighting Powder. And it's just so pretty, even prettier in person. And I take a small fan brush like this one, put it on the edge a little bit, focus on the very tip of my nose first. And I also pinch it so that it's a little bit more precise and centered so the highlight doesn't go everywhere. And then I take a couple dabs and bring it on the very high points of my cheeks. Then I take a tiny bit on my brow bone. Y después, we take un poquititico. I'm just gonna apply it on the very inner corner of my eyes. Don't have to apply much. Just kind of blend that in a little bit. I have one of those cameras that don't zoom in, but it costs $5,000. I'm not one of those YouTubers that have assistants that help them with the whole filming process, but maybe one day. Lastly, for my lips, which is my favorite part, the other day here on YouTube, on my YouTube stories, I think you call them, is that what they're called? I posted a story on my lip combo that I always wear. Those of you who truly watch me know that I have been wearing the same lip liner for like the past 6 years, which is Zooey Organic lip liner in the color Spice. I have like several of them in many different places around the house, thankfully, because they have just discontinued this and I only found out after I posted those stories. So they have new formulas that I'm gonna try out eventually. If you guys want a discount, there's a 10% discount using my code that'll be in the description box. For me, it's kind of like foundation for my lips and it just always looks amazing. I keep getting asked what is it that I'm wearing on my lips, and it's always this. But in recent times, I've also been obsessed with the Lip Fixation Matte Lip Stains by Jane Iredale. I have 4 colors and I use about 3 of them to like combine in my lips, and it creates the most perfect shade. It's long wearing. I can kiss my husband with it. I mostly use these 3, which is the color Indulge, Entrance, and Captivate. I use these in different orders from time to time. This is just what I'm gonna do today. Today I'm gonna start with Indulge, which is more of a nude mauvey brown. So I'm gonna take Indulge and just apply it on the very edge as if it were a lip liner. Just that one color is the perfect nude for brown girls like me because it doesn't make you look dead, and I love that it's silky but matte and long wearing. They said clean beauty wasn't good enough. Girl, I don't know what you've been using, but I got you. I really like taking the Captivate color, which is a more reddish stain, and I focus this on the center to create kind of like an ombre look. And that is my makeup these days. That's what I love wearing. This is what I love doing. And I'm sharing it with you guys in hopes that it works for you as well. I hope you liked it. And I will see you in a few actually later tonight when I show you how I remove this before bed. See you soon. It's time to wash this off. I've had my makeup on for a good 5 or 6 hours now, and it still looks really good, to be honest. I think that when you double cleanse, starting with an oil cleanser and then use your regular facial cleanser, it is much more soothing, more anti-aging. It helps with premature aging to prevent. You don't want to promote aging, right? And I think that's what makeup wipes do. So I have stopped using makeup wipes a really long time ago. Oil cleansing is just much more gentle for your skin. It's also more sustainable and environmentally friendly. If you don't like using an oil cleanser, then I suggest something like this Calm On Foaming Cream Cleanser by Honest Beauty, which is also very gentle, and it can be used as a two-step process to cleanse your skin, starting off with this to kind of melt everything away because it is a cream cleanser. Then you can go in with a heavier cleanser, a more soapy cleanser after. I have many different oil cleansers that I really like to use. All three work really differently. I first take my Biosin Squalane Antioxidant Cleansing Oil. This one washes off makeup really well without having an ounce of soap in it. I'm gonna show you how this works. I put a good amount on my hands, and this is done on dry skin. Don't wet your face first. And I'm just gonna make a mess right now, okay? Rub it all over my face. Now I can rinse it off, and it removed the majority of my makeup. And obviously I need to go back in with a soapy cleanser to really remove and deep clean my pores. So I'm gonna hop in the shower now and use my next cleanser, which is going to be the Derma E Acne Deep Pore Cleansing Wash. And this has salicylic acid and tea tree and chamomile, which I use as a preventative method because my skin can break out if I don't deep clean it after wearing so much makeup. All right, so for my nighttime skin routine, it does change depending how my skin is, depending on the weather, depending how I'm feeling. I have things that I will grab when I want to do it really quick and don't have time type of skincare. And then I have elaborate steps. If I have any scarring on my skin or I'm going through any type of hyperpigmentation, I would use these two consistently. This is the Ren Clean Skincare Overnight Glow Dark Spot Sleeping Mask. And this has great ingredients for hyperpigmented skin. My skin is pretty clear right now, so I'm not using it as much these days. And then finish off with pure organic rosehip oil. It is amazing for scarring, hyperpigmentation, and just helps even out your skin tone. In 2015, I had really bad skin. I used this for a year straight, every single night, as the last step in my skincare, and it completely cleared my skin and brought my skin back to a healthy looking state. But what I'm gonna do today, because that's just how I'm feeling, is use the Power Cocktail Lactic Acid Repair Serum. And this has 10% lactic acid and 12 active extracts. Everything that goes on my face also goes on my neck. This does have lactic acid, so it feels a little tingly, so I want to apply oil right away. I'm gonna take my True Botanical Deep Repair Eye Serum. This is like an oil-based serum, and I apply just a tiny drop right here and a tiny drop right here, and I just rub that in very gently. And to soothe that tingly feeling, I'm going to apply the Matcha Pudding Antioxidant Cream, again by Peach and Lily. This has matcha and niacinamide. It's green, and this instantly stopped that itchy, tingly feeling. The last thing I'm gonna apply today is my Derma E Radiant Glow Face Oil, which I formulated with the brand Derma E. This is amazing for daytime and nighttime, and this does have mica minerals in it, which is why it shimmers a little bit, but there is no actual shimmer in there. And once you blend it in, it completely goes away. It's just a lightweight, beautiful oil that I like to apply on my neck and dab onto my face. And applying an oil as your last step will kind of just seal everything in. And the rest of it I apply on my hands. And that's it. That is my nighttime skincare for today. My skincare cocktails do change from time to time, but I hope I gave you a good idea of what I like to use. Everything I included in this video will be down below, as always. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so, because apparently a lot of people forget to subscribe. So please subscribe down below, and I will greatly appreciate it. Buenas noches.